everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Saturdays with Dad. As we said yesterday, this was going to be another unboxing video today, and I think that you are very excited about this one.
You could say I was actually waiting outside the parcel force for the parcel force delivery man.
Yeah.
And when he didn't come till about 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I started to worry as well. But no, he got here.
And nice and safe.
Nice and safe. And I think by now you can possibly tell that we are a Grateful Dead household.
Yeah.
I like to think I had a little bit of influence in this. But so when it came obvious to us via Neve's channel that there was a box set out there that I horrendously missed out on in 2020, and what it consisted of, I thought I better investigate. Cut long story short, my man in California came up with the goods, so we arrived. We got this from California.
Yeah.
And this is the Grateful Dead. What is it? The best of the Grateful Dead?
The story of the Grateful
The story of the Grateful Dead.
So this is by a vinyl company called Vinyl Me Please. If you're not familiar with them, I think they do some like limited edition releases and stuff like that. So this is actually part of the first 2,500 copies that were made. And there's little stickers along the bottom that sealed the box, whilst the person who sent it to us already opened it up. And we've had to film this video a second time, so there will be no cutting and stuff of the cardboard because we've already tried to do that.
Yeah.
Let's unpack what's inside this box because I think you're very excited to see what's inside.
Oh yes.
So this is by Vinyl Me Please. I think they're a vinyl distributing company that do a lot of kind of special edition releases and all that kind of stuff, all that jazz. And if you can see around the box, some cool looking tape that's been held together nicely. And you open up the box like so. And there's a little thing in here that says "Journey Beyond the Liner Notes." I think that's a slogan, possibly.
Yes, it is. I think they're probably their slogan.
And you are greeted with this card, which basically just tells you what's in the box. And then on the back, there are some QR scans that you can scan and listen to podcasts about each studio album, I think.
I think so, yes.
I think each of the studio albums and live albums. And then some other goodies that are in here. Some stickers, if you can see from here. And a very cool slip mat, which I can do a little clip after this of what it looks like on the turntable. But it looks very cool. What do you think?
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, once you get it going,
it looks really good.
It looks really good because it looks like all the
bears are dancing.
The skeletons and the bears are all dancing together. So
the camera probably won't do it much justice, but we'll show it to you anyway. So here is one side of the animated slip mat, or this funky looking slip mat. So the camera won't do it much justice. It looks so much better in real life, but I just got to stop the needle from going on here. And here's the other side with the bears and the skeletons. So you can see them dancing around, which looks very, very cool. And you take off this piece of
felt
or sponge or whatever it is. And that is how it sits in the box. Very nicely.
Yeah. I think that when we first saw it, Neve and I just looked at each other and we just have to have this.
I think, yeah, we watched a video of someone
unboxing
it,
yeah.
And we just said why not.
Yeah.
So let's get this out. There we go. I just want to put this in.
Let's put that over there and that there. We can put the sticker and
put all that to the side. Yeah. So this is the box, and again it's called The Story of the Grateful Dead. So that's what it looks like. It's a smooth finish, and then that's the side of the box there. It just says it on the spine. And at the back, you can kind of see it in the light, but I might insert a clip here of what it looks like. But it's like there's a pattern on it that's imprinted on here that you can't see unless you look at it in the light.
Yeah, it's basically the imprint of Bertha,
There we go. You can see it there. There. Yeah. You can kind of see it in the light there. And yeah, that's the side, and that's where you can pull it out. So I like the design of this actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
You just pull it apart like that, and it's tie-dyed, of course.
Inside.
Oh yes, and the inside looks very, very cool. I'll show you that. There's like different motifs and stuff, which look very cool.
Which sort of relate heavily towards the band. Now, the albums that I think we're going to show you are the albums that were deemed by Chris Bellman and, of course, the Dead with their permission. And by the way, Chris Bellman was the master producer of this
Of the set.
of the whole set, and he was responsible for the remastering of all the tapes. And they sort of got together a theme of how is the Dead defined?
So the essential albums, basically.
Basically, the essential albums. Obviously, you know, there's so many Deadheads out there who have their favourite and everything, but I think if you look at this as a broad section of the Dead's work, and including the 80s as well, but you know, there possibly would be a reason to have either Anthem of the Sun or Arxa Moxara, or indeed the other album in the 70s, it's not here, which is Terrapin Station.
That's in here.
Oh, not Terrapin Stations, I'm so sorry, Blues for Allah.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, I digress here. So what we have is
8 albums.
8 albums.
All on coloured vinyl, beautiful finishes, and let's just not hesitate any longer. So that's the front and booklet, of course, the essential box set booklet with just information, I guess, about each
album. It's embossed
Some
again.
of the pages have that.
Yeah,
that finish.
Yeah, very nice glossy finish.
Some good
embossed.
photos in here as well.
Yeah.
You have a favourite photo in here, don't you?
Yes, I have the favourite one there. Which one did we show?
That one, isn't
this
it?
one, I just love this photo.
There we go.
This is a great picture of Jerry, and this is a really beautifully put together booklet.
There's a lot of thought that's gone into this.
And a lot of thought as well.
So now, without further ado, let's go on to the albums
itself. So the first album we've got, and this is basically almost but not quite in date order, is the album Workingman's Dead, which is an unbelievably good album, very underrated because it lives under the shadow of the one that preceded it. But it's got some great stuff. Uncle John's Band, Blue Peter.
And this actually, if you turn it around, it's upside down.
Yeah.
So you got to flip it that way. And Vinyl Me Please have put their little stamp on it there. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
And as I said, each
album is a different colour vinyl.
So let's look at this. So a little bit crumpled up, but this is on like a kind of lilac-y kind of purple colour with that's the label in the middle now.
Yeah.
Is that an original label?
It looks
or
like it was. It's but the original label was the same colour, but it's a replica because basically Warner Brothers were the first. Well, certainly in England, that had the Dead sort of franchise for the first few albums or so before they formed their own record company. So we got that wonderful Workingman's Dead.
And then we had the well-known one, would you say?
This is probably their best-known one. And it's the one that a lot of so-called experts cite as their greatest studio album. And who am I really to argue? But, you know, it does demean the other studio albums.
Again with the Vinyl Me Please stamp.
This one has obviously got the great numbers Trucking, and Attics of My Life, Ripple, Box of Rain, Broke Down Palace, Candyman. You could sit there and ages and talk about how good it is.
It's on red vinyl.
And this is a red vinyl edition.
With the same label on as the previous one.
Exactly.
So I like the way they've organised this actually, Dad. Just want to point this out. So they've kind of done it with 2 studios, 2 lives, 2 more studios and 2 more lives.
Exactly.
I think that's quite cleverly put together. Even if it's not in the correct order, but...
There we go.
I think.
And also the albums, don't you think of a nice sort of matte finish?
Oh yeah, they have a nice finish on them actually. I don't know if you can see, but they're very smooth and just very well put together. which we'll probably get to at the end. Next up, onto our first live album of the box.
And without doubt, the Colossus, that is the 1969 Live Dead album, which was, you know, when it came to the live albums, maybe Skull and Roses should have been there, but certainly this one. This one is just amazing. And then, you know, the 11, St. Stephen, Death Don't Have No Mercy, and of course, The Wonder That Is Dark Star.
Which opens, is that opens the album?
That's the first track, well, the first side of the album.
Okay, so the colours. The first disc is on a solid, like, orangey kind of colour,
Yeah.
again with the same label in the middle.
Yeah, there was still obviously still with Warner Brothers at the start at the time.
And I believe there is a little extra in here, isn't there?
Yes.
Here it is.
Yeah.
So before I show the other colour, this is a extra that's in here. And you say this is in the original?
No, it's in the original. It just gives you a few. I think that's just a few resume of. Oh yeah, just a resume of the concerts in that.
But is this in the reissue that you have?
No. It's
So
not.
actually, that's a plus about this box set.
Yeah.
There are plenty of other pluses. And the other side of this, so the other disc is pink.
Yeah.
Again, same label.
Yeah. What a great album! What a great album! Because the Dead had two distinct sounds. One which was reserved for the studio,
Yeah.
and one, of course, which was live. And you know, they mixed it up so well. Where they had, you know, songs like Sugar Magnolia, for instance, which was only on American Beauty. It's only something like 4.5, 5 minutes long.
How long is it on?
On Europe 72, which we're now coming to, I think it's 8, 9, maybe even 10 minutes long.
So actually,
Yeah.
coming to that now.
Exactly, and this one has a personal touch to it because I was at the Unpacking Wembley in early April 1972,
And
and
again,
I saw them.
that's is your concert featured on this one though?
Yes, I think there are a few ones there on it, but you see, they don't actually outline the date of the.
So
it
you
just
could have
says
been.
when I could have been there, but I was there, but it could have been another date that they played at the Unpacking. But once again, interesting thing as well.
Vinyl making stamp.
What I think is quite good.
Different to the reissue, this isn't it?
Different to the reissue and indeed the original. This is as a freeway.
It's like a book.
It's like a book rather than having the fold where we have to fiddle about with the middle bit to get the disc out.
But this is actually very nicely done. I like when distributors will do it like this because it just makes it easier to find them and to get them out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this is a triple album.
Yeah, of some of the greatest concerts they played in. I mean, it was such a memorable tour about Europe 72. Okay, that's the tour book and the booklets. And
That came in the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's in the original as well.
Just photos. If you've got the copy, you're probably familiar with the book already. We got another orange disc, but this one's on a translucent orange, and again, same label. Let's put that one back. And the middle disc is on. Is that translucent? Yes, it is. Blue. It's like similar to the colour of the box. And the last one, once I put this back, is on a transparent green, which is probably my favourite of the colours. I know it's not yours, because yours is coming up in a bit.
Next, yeah,
but this is my favourite. It's just a really, really nicely coloured green.
And I think it's because it's got an Irish folk song on it, Morning Dew.
Oh yes,
It
could
has
that be the
the
reason?
green bit in it, yeah.
Alright, so that's the triple album. Oh yes, I forgot that. So coming up, so we've done our next two live albums, so now we're going back to the studio releases.
And this is it, Wake of the Flood. I love this album for the long track at the back, which is the actual Wake of the Flood right at the back, the last part of the album. But also I love Road Jimmy and particularly Stellar Blue, which is such a beautiful song, and it's like Garcia at its absolute finest.
And again with the Vinyl Me Please stamp there at the bottom.
And the Proggy Raven.
Yeah, that does look pretty proggy, isn't it? And I think this is your favourite
My
of the
favourite
colours.
colour, the bottle colour.
Let's just show that now. And this is on a different label.
Yes, this is Grateful Dead Records.
So I'll show that to you now. So that's the
That's
colour.
lovely.
It's such a very nice colour, that.
Yeah.
And yes, as I said, a different label.
Yeah.
But it's got a rating on the actual label.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, the next album was Blues for Allah and Mars Hotel. I think they were both on Grateful Dead Records, and at the time, I think all the solo albums, you know, the Garcia Weir, you know, Phil Lesh, or you know, not Big Ben, but Bill Kreutzmann and Mickey Hart. They recorded on this spin-off label, which was Round Records.
Okay, yeah. All right.
There's a little bit of
little trivia.
And the next one.
This is the last of the studio releases in this box set.
This to me proved that the Dead can do prog. They're masters of blues, jam, psychedelic music, country and western, and then they signed with Arista. Keith Olsen just wanted them to do some kind of album. I think they fought against it to start off with, but then they enjoyed it afterwards. And it you know, I think it was very much sort of not certainly frowned on by a lot of deadheads. What, you know, what's all this about? You know, and we now realise what a wonderful album this is. The first half is good. But the second half, the Terrapin Station.
I've been listening to a lot of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a sort of natty little version of Dancing in the Streets on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I prefer the other stuff though.
Yeah. I mean, the Terrapin Station saga in the second side.
That's the best part.
Magnificent.
So
excellent. So as I say, proves that the Dead do prog.
And there's the Vinyl Me Please stamp in the top corner there, and
colour
the colour is not going to be too shocking, to be honest. Insert here, and the colour is like a foresty green, which looks very nice. And this is that's still on their label?
That's on the new label, that's on Arista. So by this time, I think basically Grateful Dead Records, straight round records, or went belly up, and they signed to Keith Olsen signed them to Arista Records. So
now on to the two that I'm less familiar with, and maybe you're a bit more familiar.
I'm not that familiar so much. This is sort of an acoustic set, live album, and it's it's got a lot of their stuff. I don't know if it's got Cumberland. It's got Dark Hollow, which is a beautiful song. It Must Have Been a Roses, which is one of Garcia's solo songs, and Cassidy, which I absolutely love, which is on the Bob A. Swear album.
And this is, what's the name of this album?
Reckoning. And this is basically an acoustic set. It's really well put together, isn't it? Because you've now got an album of exclusively live acoustic music, you know?
So the colours here, we have red. I think this is like a translucent red, possibly, because it looks a bit see-through.
Yeah.
And the other one, which is blue.
Blue vinyl, nice.
This one, I'm a bit sad, it's a bit crumpled up, but what can you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, very similar to the box colour. And the very last album in the box sets that we have today is this one here.
Well, yeah, this is Without a Net, which is an album I believe freely available as a CD or a download, but very rare as a vinyl.
So that kind of ups
they picked the right.
price.
They did pick the right albums, didn't they?
So this is this just being in here as a reissue's kind of upped the value of this box.
Oh, massively so, massively.
And this is a triple album.
Yeah. And this is sort of with newer stuff. This is all later Dead. Is Althea on this? Yeah, Althea, Cassidy. There's Help on the Way. You know, got a bit. They got a load of stuff here from the Wake of the Flood album. Plus, they got one of my favourite Garcia songs.
What?
Bird Song. And they finish off with one of the great Traffic songs, well, they do a good cover of this as well, Dear Mr. Fantasy. So this is Without a Net, and again, colour vinyl, matte finish on the
cover.
Album cover.
So this is like a mustardy kind of colour. Next one is on blue vinyl, which is the same as the colour as the outside box there. And the very last one, that's like a hot pinky red thing. Pinky red thing.
Very nice indeed. Safely in its house.
And that is the very last one, so
yeah.
It goes at the end here. So that actually concludes our video today. So to anyone who has this box set, do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Now, is this worth the amount of money that you pay for it? I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I would, but the good thing about what they've done in this box set is they put together 8 albums of all different aspects of the Dead and put them all together in a synchronised way, and okay, they've glossed it up with a marvellous box set with wonderful art in it.
And the booklet, all that stuff.
And the brochure is unbelievable with the sort of like embossed first 2 pages. It's just fantastic. So you are going to pay a lot of money, but if you actually analyse it and you went to Discogs or something and would buy all those albums all together
separately
as a separate thing, you would find probably you get obviously American Beauty and Workingman's quite easily.
But it's
last one or the last 2, yeah. So you probably end up, you know, it wouldn't be as much as this box set, but then you get so much more with this box set.
You get all the goodies with it. You know, you get a slip mat, you get the booklet, and you get one thing that is actually very interesting that you don't get with all this just standard reissues, is you get that slip of card with all the QR codes about the each album.
Oh yes, exactly.
So the mini kind of podcast documentaries, which are very interesting. And yeah.
So this one here, I think, is
that is 1,586,
the number
of 2,500.
2,500. So literally not that many, but no, it's wonderful. It really is.
And it's just really nicely put together.
No,
all in one kind
packaged,
of. Yeah. One any fan of theirs would like this, and possibly even people who want to
get into
it. Because you've got the half and half experience. You've got the half studio, half live. So you can kind of go back and forth with that. And
even within the live bit, you've got you've got the acoustic live album plus the experimental side plus the more traditional rocky side, and then you've got obviously Europe 72, which is just Goliath of an album. So yeah, I think it's fantastic.
And that concludes the video today. I am going to be uploading tomorrow because usually on the 1st of each month I do my monthly listens, so that will come tomorrow. And yeah, see you next week for you.
Yeah, absolutely. See you next week. I wish you all a lovely week.
And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.